With Christmas right around the corner, I am going to show you how to make a gift that almost everybody loves, chocolate turtles. How about learning how to make chocolate turtles from Mary Risley in San Francisco? Here we go. You ready? What you need are some fresh pecans. You don't want to buy pecans that are at a store where they don't sell very often. You don't want to buy pecans, keep them in the freezer. They need to be relatively fresh. I'm spreading the pecans into little bunches of little clusters. Now I'm going to make the caramel. To make the caramel, you need a heavy bottom pan. I'm putting 2¼ cups of granulated sugar in the pan. I'm putting a few grains of salt and 3 tablespoons of corn syrup. Corn syrup is getting a bad reputation lately. It is found in way too many prepared foods, but it's pretty hard to make caramel without a little bit of corn syrup in it. So I'm using 3 tablespoons of light corn syrup with my sugar, my salt. I'm going to bring it to a boil over a gentle heat, and then I'm going to increase the heat to high, and that will make it caramelize. And the big thing you need to remember about caramelizing sugar is really hot. It caramelizes at 350 degrees. 350 degrees sugar doesn't go well on skin. So now I'm going to throw in a few tablespoons of water just to help it to start to caramelize. And I'm going to dissolve it over a gentle heat before I turn it up to a high heat. What is caramel? Caramel is golden sugar, burnt sugar, sugar that has melted and then begins to burn. So we're going to let this dissolve over a gentle heat and then bring it to a boil, and we'll come back in a minute to see what it looks like when it's caramel. Okay, let's look at the sugar syrup. This has been boiling for about 6 minutes now, and as I said, it's just unbelievably hot. Don't even think about putting your finger in it. So this is something that I recommend you might want to make these turtles with an older child, not a young child. Okay, so look at that. That's pretty, there you have a light brown. That's a brown. Okay, now I'm going to add some butter. I'm going to add some butter. And you may say, can I do caramels with low fat? No, just eat less caramels. But I think butter and cream is good for you. It helps you through the long, cold winter. It makes you feel good. Okay, this is butter melting into golden caramel. And I'm going to keep cooking it over a gentle heat. And when the butter is kind of slightly melted, then I'm going to add some cream. A really important thing to notice about this is the cream needs to be at room temperature. If the cream is very cold, it will boil up all over your stove. Okay, 2 sticks of butter and ½ cup of cream. Ooh la la. I'm going to cook it until it gets to 254 degrees on a candy thermometer. Come back in a few minutes when we're up to 254 degrees. This is exactly 254 degrees on a candy thermometer. And sometimes candy thermometers aren't exactly accurate, but this one looks okay. And now what I want to do is I want to take it off the heat and put it on a hot pad. If you leave it on the burner and let it cool on the burner, it continues to cook a little bit. So now this is the point at which it would be better if only one person is doing this, because you can burn another person. What I'm looking for is for the bubbles to subside, and I'm using a wooden spoon because it works better with sugar. Oh my God, that looks so good. And now I'm going to make chocolate turtles with a spoonful of caramel on the middle of my golden caramel and fresh pecans. Ooh, look at that. Golden caramel and fresh pecans. The best way to store pecan chocolate turtles in tin is at room temperature with little pieces of wax paper in between. In this country, we're very fearful of contamination. We put everything in the refrigerator. But candy is not one of the things that need to go in the fridge because sugar is a preservative and you don't have to worry about something with so much sugar going bad. Caramel in refrigeration will get a little bit, will weep, it gets runny. Chocolate in refrigeration gets cloudy. So you don't want to put these in the fridge. A room temperature tin, a pretty Christmas tin with wax paper in between is fine. When you're done with the caramel, the best way to clean the pot and the spoons are to fill them with water, warm water, and boil it on top of the stove. Here are some Guittard chocolate chips that I melted without any water or anything at all in it, over a pan of gently simmering water. If the whole thing gets too hot, the chocolate will seize up. So just a clean, dry pan and gentle heat. Now I'm going to paint the top of my chocolate turtles with a good quality melted chocolate chips. Oh my goodness, look at that. How would you like to get this as a Christmas package under the tree? Doesn't that look good? And as I said before, the best way to store these is in a tin at room temperature with little pieces of wax paper in between. Here you have it, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, from Aunt Mary in San Francisco. These are a Christmas gift or an any time of year gift. Pecan chocolate turtles. For this recipe and more, go to tantemarie.com, and a very Merry Christmas to you.